are going to bring to them. Now, I guess the question really is, can Quincy Crew play as fast as they did in the first game and just overrun Vici Gaming before this DOTA is able to stand there without Quincy Crew being able to blow her up?
That is the Quincy Crew special, though, right? Playing fast, playing aggressive. So it does feel like they've got a lineup that does work for us. And we do have to address the fact that the panel was talking about pretty much no stuns. We got Cold Snap, we got some Tornadoes coming into play from both the Brew and from the Invoker. Brew Split will be able to provide some lockdown and some catch, especially for these annoying backline heroes like Winter Wyvern. But yeah, we'll see how they're able to make it work.
Quincy Crew on the hunt here. Although I did have a smoke dispelled as Vici Gaming, knowing that something's up around it, unlikely to get caught out by this 5-man attempt here from Quincy Crew.
Yeah, we see deep wards again. This time it's Vici who put those deep wards to, looks like, read the lane matchups in particular.
Yeah, because in terms of the lane matchups, are we going to see quite as much stubbornness when it comes to getting certain pairings as we saw in Game 2 from both teams?
Not as much, I would say. I think they do want to have... honestly, I think that Quincy Crew has addressed the Timbersaw pretty nicely. I think any lane that they have set up, like even if Leslau's versus Timber, even if Bloodseekers versus it, it's not bad at all. So I don't think we'll see as much lane shenanigans.
All right, so there for the start, at least it's going to begin with Bold 11 and DY down on the bottom against Leslau's DP. And as per usual, as we're seeing Quincy Crew like to do, starting your wire off top, with both supports hanging around, maybe just for the first wave, just to see if they can get any action, or at least just secure you wire that first wave of safe CS.
Try to make sure that they can block the pull too, but won't be able to. Sentry Ward instantly taken out from PYW. I do think they want to be able to give some help to Leslau. Even though he's a fast hero like Death Prophet, DY's, the harassment will start to build up from Inch. And once she gets a creep, it's going to be problematic for Leslau. Top.
If they've got enough, it's close, they do.
They got him.
A very nice first strike there from Quincy Crew. With the old Earth Spike into the Blood Bright, the damage is done, the setup is there, and this is why Quincy Crew as a team love to do this. Start with the aggro tri-lane to look for these sort of opportunities. Bottom lane, Leslau, getting dove upon by old 11, but the backup's in. LOA is able to TP over him with the Earth Spike. Holding back old 11 as old 11, he's got to back off. They won't quite have the damage to dive in and kill off Leslau. Quincy Crew, they get the first blood, and now they're able to set up with these dual lanes.
Yeah, I think LOA had to come down here pretty soon because they're going to go for these super pressure plays with an Enchantress with the Timbersaw early versus Death Prophet. Like I said, even though she's speedy, can't get dove. And, it's a bit surprising that Poyoyo does die there because they saw the 3 heroes. They knew that this was happening, but still just end up getting caught out there from the overwhelming damage. And we're seeing mid, Quinn really winning that matchup. 10-0 to the 4-0 of the Invoker. Max he can have is 7 after these 3 creeps.
See top. I'm going to look to punch back, PYW.
It's a lot of
smacking into the 2 of them. MSS taking some heavy damage here, so they'll have to back off. Well, then they'll manage to snipe LOA's courier there, I believe, with the summons of the DY, with the neutral.
Yeah. Not the best.
Sort of overall as well, do you like this as well from Vici Gaming? We've not really got to talk about it too much, as was mentioned. They do like to run this in both sort of support capacities, but the support brew, I mean, how does this work out for a hero for you right now in this position? Is it something you like to see?
I think because they had Enchantress, they wanted something that's going to cover them on all bases for teamfight, because they were really lacking on it, so I think that's one of those king of teamfight heroes that might be able to turn the edge, but there's nothing like crazy about Brew this game that he's like really just hard dispelling or just taking care of. I think the biggest thing for him is just finding the Winter Wyvern in the back and blocking the save versus Death Prophet. He's just going to be able to throw him up and maybe ignore him inside of the fight. Mid, Wild Wing. That's one way to offset a Void Spirit matchup. Very frustrating.
A bit of an irritation here. Yeah, for Quincy, this Tornado currently in his lane.
He's looking for it. He's going to spot it for a second. Hasn't put the points in yet. Just holding on to 2.
I was going to say, fully saving his skill points, yeah. I was going to put it to simulate now with Rory starting to step in. He's going to make sure that he goes for the stand and get the full damage out. He's probably holding points just in case he would have seen an opportunity to grab someone with the Remnant. Maybe Ori if he'd stepped up too aggressively.
Yeah, I like that he's gone for farm build rather than going for any type of kill. The only way you cover Invoker in a Crosswex is if he just makes some really bad mistake. You want to be able to maximize, and Quinn, he's all about maximizing farm. DY makes his move toward top, takes away Satyr Tormentor, looks to want to perhaps rotate toward the top lane, but the lane's starting to do really well. Medusa, even though she did die that one time, up to 19 CS. 20 now.
Pretty close across the board. Slight net worth lead here for Vici Gaming. Spot top lane. Try and chase down your War. Instantly goes for the TP out. Doesn't want to take more damage than he needs to. I say that. He's actually going to maybe just a bit of a bait as he cancels the TP. He's ready to turn towards PYW. PYW with his own TP though will make it out. Back to the fountain he goes to get away from that attempted turnaround off Quincy crew.
Looks like it's just going to become a 1v1 in the bottom lane, too. Lion's starting to move around the map. Enchantress, we'll see what DY does when he sees the Lion moving, if he's going to look to punish Leslau, as Old 11 still does have a lot of damage. If they can bait a couple Spirit Siphons and then look to make a play when the Siphon is down, could perhaps set up for this Death Prophet, as Leslau is starting to fall behind on last hits. Move toward top.
Not funny. See if they got the damage this time. Caught in the blood right. X control as well, charging in onto Poyoyo. He has got a pretty full wand though. And with that popped, he's going to be more than fine. PYW tries to charge in to chase down LOA instead. Quincy crew, they'll be okay themselves. They just did not quite able to get that kill onto Medusa. PYW doing a good job of staying around in the area, making sure that even with the three of them, they don't have enough tools to take him out. Bottom lane, got the setup on a Leslau, in with the Centaur. Leslau, he's out of siphons. That was his last one gone here, and with that in mind, there's no more sustain for him. Old 11 slides across with the chain, cuts him down.
And a pretty big mistake there, I feel, from Leslau. If he just Spirit Siphons the Centaur Conqueror, he's going to get way more HP. He Spirit Siphoned DY. This is an Enchantress with 600 HP instead of a 1400 HP Centaur. I feel like he could have survived there for sure. But the constant aggression, as we mentioned, this is what Vici wanted to do. As soon as they see that Death Prophet isolated, Old 11's going to try to punish.
Yeah, and it's going to be that very scary point for Leslau now, where Old 11, pretty much with this secret, he's going to have the level 6 against the level 5 DP, so this is not easy.
They're glyphing the wave too, they're keeping the siege going.
We'll see if they have TPs at the ready, but now with the 6 hit on Old 11, they're going to collapse on Leslau immediately. Leslau, see how much the Siphons are going to do to keep him alive. He's got another one in a few seconds.
He looks pretty dead.
Definitely struggling against these two of them. He's trying to dance around them, but he can't get away. As a second kill, this bottom lane just proving to be a bit of a death trap for him. At the same time, top, PYW and Poyoyo. They run down Yawar as Vici Gaming getting huge core kills here in both of the side lanes. Tower as well, tier 1 on the bottom lane, it's gone.
Definitely not a game where you want to start falling behind with this early centric draft versus a late game crazy scaling lineup with a Medusa Invoker core. It's not a good sign here for Quincy crew, and it's only 7 minutes in. Medusa pretty much full free farm. Invoker now taking over the mid lane. And Timbersaw, we saw what Old 11 was able to do last time. Sure, he was versus a Wraith King matchup, which is excellent, but he is versus some pretty good heroes that he can burst, and it's the counteract versus Cold Embrace, that high burst damage that Timbersaw does do.
Without doubt, eyes are going to be on Quinn. What can the man achieve this game? He's level 7, he's got the phase boots and an arcane rune in the bottom. Well, this would be a good time to try and look for a hit. But the top lane's tough, as we're seeing. Poyoyo constantly being backed up by PYW. It's not an easy hero to dive upon. So they can look towards Ori mid. But again, Vici Gaming keeping their bases covered here. DY keeping himself in the trees, ready for any sort of aggressive moves onto Ori. And Quinn, he's just going to have to find any small opportunity and strike as hard as possible.
They got to start stalling these pushes. Like, MSS has to rotate over here and start Splinter Blasting. They can't lose another tower this early, or the game is going to become incredibly difficult for them to ever make aggressive moves onto the Medusa. Because if you start losing these towers so early, it starts to become obvious if you are making moves, because the creep waves will dictate and show where you are on the map. Mid, Quinn.
See the setup on a Quinn. He's got enough mana there for the step up to the high ground. He makes it away.
Ooh, free courier.
Top. Bringing some backup top. Stun into the blood right. Leslau's coming over with the ghost. He's ready to try and fight. Sail away. Will go down, but Leslau could have a nice bit of a cleanup here. Take out PYW. He's going to charge over towards Poyoyo, but with the point of the stone gaze, Leslau's got to keep his distance. The backup as well there from Mori. trying to stop them from diving in onto the Medusa. Poyoyo is out of mana. Yawar not quite hitting the 6 though. They'll bring more firepower up to the top lane here. Quincy Crew as CCNC, he's ready to join Yawar. He'll drop the blood right, but the 3 of them surround him. Yawar, he's got to be careful. Leslau charging in to push them away. Yawar will be saved. Quinn, he's looking for his target and chasing down DY. DY's a little too speedy. 1 Astral Step available from Quinn. It wouldn't be enough to chase him. He's going to look for the bigger kills instead. Straight over towards Poyoyo. Quinn, has he got enough to finish off this Deucer? Another step in. Quinn, he really needs this kill and he's going to get it. Quinn will take down Poyoyo. He's ready to swing back over towards Moore. Comes in with a big jump with the Dissimilate. Ori getting taken out low. We'll get the Tornado down. Gets taken down though. Quinn out of mana, trying to run, but the damage is done from Vici Gaming. Yawar looking towards PYW. PYW up to the high ground, healing up as they'll keep him alive. Yawar's got to step back. Old Lemon's silence about to come to an end in a minute. Chakram off the mark. The Timber Chain, it isn't.
Ooh.
Old Lemon comes crashing through, brings down Yawar, and he's going to look towards MSS as well as they surround the Wyvern. Vici Gaming, they may have lost a couple of cores, but they'll hit back hard and take a fair few cores themselves there. Old 11 cleaning up in style.
And the supports just get so enabled from this. PYW about to hit 6. DY is 6 now on the Enchantress. They survived during the whole thing, so earn charges aplenty. They can keep themselves healed up now to be able to fight again. Did see Quinn get some big kills, but I don't think Vici minds too much as Poyoyo immediately goes toward bottom side. He's going to build the farm now, stack up some Ancients and hard camp for himself as this Deucer. Quinn?
See if he can get some of the squishies here. Quick jump onto DY. They're able to blow up the Enchantress.
Nice move.
So if they can do anything about PYW, PYW has the 6. Try and get it off with the Hex coming in. It's not enough to stop him from popping the Primal Split. The Split still comes out, turns straight away over towards LOA. They bring down the Lion. Quinn, he's into the shadows here with the Invis. He's going to be fine.
Can't dispel that Invis. Does not work versus invisibility runes. Still have a sentry
back
there.
Under the sentry. But they won't have any follow-ups. PYW sends him up and backs off.
Old 11, 4-0-1, top of net worth. Now starting to pressure top tower. Siege wave is coming over Yawar. Yawar wants to try to stop this push, but he has to be careful himself. He's going to go for Old 11 too. TP, they get the cancel.
They should have him in. Multiple ways to put an end to that TP attempt. A very necessary kill there for Quincy Crew. They've got to shut down Old 11 as he is really starting to take over the game. So Quincy Crew
instant smoke.
will be able to deal with him. They know they want to play it fast. Quinn, he's constantly going to be looking for action. He doesn't want to be hitting creeps. He wants to be hitting heroes.
They have to punish some of this greed. Ori.
Quick setup, Quinn. Perfect catch. Straight in with the step and the Remnant. A blow up Ori.
And they've got the ult.
Mid tower. Some good pressure ready to go from Leslau. So let's see what Vici Gaming want to do in terms of a defense. Poyoyo just making use of the space down bottom. PYW sticking up towards the top half of the map as Yawar. He's pushing in with the siege creep top. Some good pressure here from Quincy Crew. 5 seconds, they'll have Ori back in the game, but the damage is being done. This tier 1 certainly starting to fall. Old 11. He's going to start charging in, trying to push them back off this. Leslau. Take a low hit. The Remnant will grab Ori. They'll use the curse, holding them back, making sure that Leslau will be kept safe. As they are able to back away. DY still trying to chase in and get a catch on to the DP, but Leslau's far enough away. Top lane, Noir pretty much taking down that tier 1 tower top as well. So, but these tier 1's getting pressured very heavily by Quincy Crew. Now Vici Gaming's going to try their best in response. Straight down the mid, they go Old 11 immediately, and on top of MSS with the cold snap. There's no escape for MSS. Yawar looks to turn with the Rupture down onto the Timber Saw. See if they've got enough damage to bring down this Timber. They're draining him low with the Siphon. LOA swings across with the stun. They'll bring down Old 11 once again. Another big kill here for Quincy Crew as they take away the crucial frontline component of Vici Gaming's charge.
Poyoyo gets the space though. Top of net worth now on the Deucer, even though she does have 2 deaths. Level 11. She's got a lot of time because of these constant moves. Old 11, he does get punished for being a bit too over-aggressive 2 times over and over again, but he'll have a TP available for next. Quincy Crew. Still an okay spot, but they don't have the same type of farm mechanics, right? Like this Bloodseeker, he's not going to be nearly as enabled as this Deucer, who will eventually start to get alacrities and stuff like that. This is quite a problem here. Yawar needs to find some more farm.
No, definitely, it's not an easy or fun lineup to play from behind.
No.
Especially against this Poyoyo. Soon to hit the 12. Quinn still working on his yours, pushing in on the top here. And see what Quincy Crew's next move is going to be.
Ori's gone for full greed this game. They have the Urn finished up early on the Brewmaster, so he's just going straight for Aghanims. Going for that Cataclysm versus the Cold Embrace. We've seen this now time and time again, especially from Team Nigma. he's able to do this kind of greedier build that will result in not just Cataclysm, but higher points in Alacrity for the Medusa as well, with those high points of Exort that he's starting to put into.
This smoke. See if they can catch anything, they'll find LOA. Tornado down onto the Lion. And he will be able to turn it with the upright back up and Yawar on the stun. It's not enough to get him out of there though. Still managed to take down the Lion. Yawar's farm will begin to pick up now with the Maelstrom complete. Still has quite a way to go there to be able to get anywhere close to what Poyoyo is being able to clean up from his half of the map.
And they're having to react to everything. It's Vici really setting the pace this game. It's always on the side of Quincy's. So they're never going to be able to get to Poyoyo's side. They have to be able to win a fight soon and get to where this Medusa's farming, because she's level 13. Look at the rest of the levels inside the game. Next highest is 11. Bloodseeker's level 9.
I mean, what's sort of the move that Quincy crew has to make to deal with him? We're going to see the smoke come out. Is it as sort of simple as just committing fully onto the Medusa, trying to blow Poyo up before backup comes in?
I think they have to get her at least once, otherwise this game's going to start looking pretty impossible for them. Poyoyo, though, seems to be reading it. Getting a ward around Ancients isn't a bad option either, so that they can at least know when they have an opportunity to go for her. But do have to be careful, because Vici, they've got everything ready to fight. Spirit Vessel finished up on PYW as well. And they're going to smoke back. They're reading this move here from Quincy. Quincy's got to be careful not to get sandwiched.
I'll see if they catch it. Quinn. Cleaning up the small camp. MSS LOA Lesnar, they're ready to try and come in from the side. It's already Quinn's been spotted by Old Lem. LOA's trying to charge in over towards Poyoyo, but Poyoyo is able to step out to the side. PYW in with the primal split. LOA, he's been left behind. The Lion will fall. The tornado grab onto Lesnar. They're chasing down the DP. They're throwing him up, buying time for Vici Gaming to come in, surround him. As Vici Gaming prepared there for Quincy Crew's attempts to make a move. As they continue to just keep Poyoyo safe, proving the immense difficulties that Quincy Crew are having to deal with when it comes to trying to slow down and deal with how much Poyoyo is farming.
He's so big already, level 14, and it's not a good core versus core matchup either, especially as a Bloodseeker who's not ahead. If you're a Medusa and you're able to get this type of start in the game, it's very hard to recover on Quincy. MSS in position for a curse.
See what they can do. They'll start with the Rupture on Poyoyo. Catch him with the stun, keeping him in the Bloodbright. And committing, but the Mansa's up and ready to turn. Yawar, he's got to step back. The curse will hold back PYW, but Yawar, he's still dying to the damage from TY. These impetuses are from the side. That's Yawar gone. Leslau, so going to charge him with the Exorcism. Quinn jumps in with the two-man Astral Step over with the Dissimulate towards PYW. But Leslau, he's just dying into the right clicks of Poyoyo as Poyoyo already turned over towards the Death Prophet. Leslau will fall. It's 3 dead on Quincy Crew. Quinn looking towards Poyoyo, in with the Dissimulate. Can he burst him in time? No, Poyoyo with the wand, he's fine. Pops the wand, Poyoyo's away. They lose 4 on Quincy Crew, just the 2 on Vici Gaming. Maybe they're going to lose 5, in fact, here. Quincy, as Vici Gaming have the grab onto MSS, as Ori leads him with the Tornado. MSS trying to hide in the trees, but Old Lem's able to clear them out with the Chakram. They'll get the full team wipe here, Vici Gaming.
They were so close to bringing down Poyoyo multiple times, but he got like 2-3 snakes off, ends up surviving because of it. I think he also gets Arcane booted, I believe, from some of his teammates. They built, what, 1, 2 Arcane boots, so just that little bit of extra restore. It looked like they were going to get him, but these little things do add up. Look at how close he gets. Oh, man. That's devastating. That's the big hold for them to come back in the game, and now it's a 9K lead for a Medusa lineup. Level 16 in a second on the Medusa. This is looking really difficult already for Quincy Crew.
It's been hard fights as well for Leslau. He's just not at a point where he can really charge in and be that frontline DP at the moment. Even with the siphons going off, they're still managing to take him out.
It's such an early vessel on PYW. He just vessels him, and then sure, you get your siphons off, but you're just getting wailed on as LOA. It's found again.
Just getting kills all over the place, and with these sort of kills, yeah, Ori, this Aghanim's pretty much done here. Midas Ags, yes, it's going to be complete 18 minutes in, some very fast timings flying out for all 3 cores of Vici Gaming this match.
Level 14 too, so he's got 5 points in Exort. Look at that Alacrity, 58 attack speed, 58 damage for the Medusa, who already is hitting hard. Quincy Crew needs to win the next fight, or I think this game just might already be over.
Yo. Let's see Quinn with the setup. This could be a good catch if they can take him down before backup comes in. The silence off. Is there any help in time? Yo. He's able to get the stone gaze off. He's off to the side. The heal of the chance. It's not enough. They'll bring him down. Quincy crew, if they can get more out of this, this will be huge. They've got the setup onto PYW. Curse into the blood right. Remnant off the mark. PYW is able to step out of the side. He's still able to put the primal splits. They're going to try and fight without their DOTA here, Vici Gaming. Let's see if they're strong enough to do so. Leslau getting burnt down low by the impetuses. They're trying to come in, and Leslau still alive. Old 11 caught in the blood right. They bring down the Timbersaw. A third kill here for Quincy crew. Yowa trying to work through the primal splits. PYW is attempting to run, but the astral step is back up. Quinn's in with the damage. They have the control. Quincy crew strike back.
Oh, they needed that so badly. They catch the Medusa out of position. Team not there to back her up. That was perfect there from Quincy. Great exorcism. Leslau dropping low, but this time he's not spirit vesseled up. He's able to just stick inside of the fights because the Bruce split is caught on the side there, going for the Lion. Yeah, great, well-executed fight that they absolutely needed. Chunking down that net worth lead. 10K down to 6K, same thing for experience. Look how low he drops multiple times on Leslau. Really nicely dancing around the fight.
Yeah, they've really had it in from the last few times, but absolutely pulling it together and going for that BKB, of course, next. Once he does have that one done, he's going to be feeling so confident charging in and just being this hero that Vici Gaming will struggle to deal with. You know, just sort of running around and causing havoc, especially with the mass silencers that are going to be coming out in these team fights.
As long as he's not getting spirit vesseled up in the fight, Leslau should be able to survive and run through.
Back to farming. Probably have learned his lesson after that last bit of a move down bottom, and won't be caught as far away from the rest of his teammates or the backup of the tower for potential TPs again.
And probably won't use Manta to farm again, because I believe that's what caused that whole entire situation. He didn't have Manta to remove the silence, and then he doesn't have time to pop the stone gaze, so Quincy crew taking advantage of it nicely, keeping themselves in the game. They need a couple more of those, though.
They do. And Quincy crew, their team fight is going to be rather annoying. I mean, you look at just the amount of silences they have, because bear in mind, Vici Gaming, not really heroes that are rushing BKBs or anything. So they will have this ability to really disable what Vici Gaming is trying to throw out at them. Quinn's working on the the silence from Leslau. These are heavy duration silences. If they can bring these together smartly, it will make it difficult for Vici Gaming to fight into it. Quincy crew, they're going to take the lead here with Leslau charging in for the Roshan. See if they're able to do anything about this Vici Gaming. It's going down.
There. They see Old 11.
But they're going to look for the jump. Straight away, Quinn's up to the high ground. He's found Old 11. They've got the Hex locked down. They've been able to blow up the Timber. That's the Timber Saw down. It's Quincy crew, Leslau. Tornado into the EMP. Leslau. He's going to fall here this time round. He's not able to survive. Yeah, Poyo sweeping in with the Stone Gaze, looking towards Yawar. He's going to get caught in the Sunstrike. Yawar pops the BKB. It's not going to save him. Poyo's able to right-click him down. They're getting forced back. MSS has to TP out of this. Seeing the river, Quinn. He's jumping out with the Simulate and the Astral Set. They may have been able to quickly dispatch of Old 11. But Vici Gaming, they're ready to take a fight, of course, with this lead that they have, even with the Timber Saw down. Scardy complete on Poyo. The Timber Saw kill, it was just not anywhere near to the same impact as that of killing the Medusa as they did last team fight.
No, they don't have the BKB yet on the Death Prophet. This time, PYW does get the vessel off onto her, and then she just gets evaporated in no time. And now it's a Medusa with an Aegis, with the Ayascati finish too. So all that healing that they do have on their draft between the Wyvern, between the Death Prophet, even more reduced. And now the BKB won't be as effective also when Poyo is able to hit onto that Death Prophet when Leslau does finish it. So it still continues to be a hard game.
Quite comfortably here for Vici Gaming. 11K, 22 to 15. Quincy crew's lineup, one that does get heavily punished with each and every bad fight that's taken now at this stage. Quinn getting onto PYW. There's no split. Let's see if they can take out the crew with the burst of the finger. They can. Bring down PYW. What more can they get? They're looking over towards DY in the river. Quinn on the chase. He's able to close the gap, sets up with the Yules. They'll be able to find themselves a second grab here, Quincy crew.
Very nice. All these kills do matter. They need to start getting them. Did Yawara get either of them? No, Yawara not able to get either of them. Unfortunately, he's still in a tough spot. 2, 4, and 8 on this Bloodseeker. They still have this ward that they caught Old 11 with earlier. It was spotting out Ori for a moment. Poyoyo is starting to get pinged out, though, so they do have their own vision that is going to see Quincy Ku rotating over. Poyoyo. He's walking into them. He's feeling really strong.
Yeah, with the Aegis. No fear of being burst by Quincy Crew, and Quincy Crew know that they don't want to spend too much longer on this half of the map from Vici Gaming. Quinn backing off. Very close to having the Aghanims done here on the Void Spirit.
More silence. It's going to be really good versus that Brewmaster, versus that Timber. There is a Lotus already done on Old 11, but versus the Brew, it's going to be extremely effective until PYW gets his Aeon Disc, which he is very far away from still. About 2k more gold. Or sorry, 12k more gold.
Stepping up. Lotus Orb's down onto him. Immediately Old 11 making sure that they're put off from committing any further onto DY, and it's going to work. Quincy Crew, they'll back off. MSS just trying to start clearing out this mid lane of creeps. Poyoyo's pushing in. He's ready to start beating into the towers, this tier 2. See what response Quincy Crew is going to come up with. Yawar still trying his best to farm elsewhere on the map. Get this Mjolnir done, so he's got some sort of offensive potential in the team fights. Yeah, they don't want to look to defend these towers right now against the DOTA with an Aegis. Vici Gaming able to take out the tier 2, open up the availability to get this outpost in their favor.
And now they're going to go into the Ancient side too and farm, and these illusions from the Medusa cut the whole bottom wave, continue to farm the jungle too. These are not Manta illusions, that's an illusion rune. And Poyoyo, he steals away the Ancients. Yawar has to just run to find some type of farm top. 12k gold lead already though. 12k experience lead too, and as you mentioned, outpost was taken away. So it's going to continue to grow. Quincy, they just need to find these pickoffs, but they have to wait until this Aegis is gone. If they can find Poyoyo isolated, then perhaps they can go for something like that again, but yeah, it still is looking difficult.
Setting up around mid, Quincy Crew just making sure they're here to back up Yawar. If he does get jumped upon, doing their best to make any sort of area of this map safe for Yawar to continue to farm it.
He needs so much more though. He's level 16, Medusa level 21 with a full butterfly coming out of the courier any moment now. He is just so far ahead on the Medusa.
He is. He's having such a good game. And interesting, I mean, Medusa is a hero, sort of had different opinions from different players. You know,
yep.
Do you feel Medusa is still always going to have a space as this carry, even with some of the changes to the talents that were, sort of referred to as one of the reasons why some teams just don't like playing this hero?
I think if you just avoid going for the Aghanims build, and if you just have a good core-to-core matchup, it can still work. Like, he's versus Bloodseeker. Like, if you get ruptured, you just stand there. You don't really care most of the times as DOTA, so this game, it definitely feels very appropriate. As onto the high ground, Alacrity push. Quinn.
We'll look for the jump on Old 11. He's able to get the Lotus off in time, and that means they'll be able to turn, get the combo off onto Quinn. Quinn able to break out of the cold snap here with the Yules, and he will be away. Jumps back to safety with the Dissimilate.
Scary
Next round of creeps are coming in. Well away. He's got a back right off as Poyo nearly takes him down there with the damage coming out from this DOTA. Now back off with the mana low.
Can you imagine if he dies because of like a Lotus Orb play reflecting a Lion Stun? That would be so devastating.
Yeah, they certainly have to watch out for these quick moves from Old 11.
There's that B-fly finished.
I like this. This is what you want to see. If you're down 14k as a team, don't sit on the high ground. You've got to look for these aggressive moves. This is the only way you're going to be able to get yourself really back into it. Look to get out and hit Vici Gaming when they don't expect it. Problem is though, Vici Gaming, even with the lead they have, they're playing very safe. Full 5 of them in their jungle. If you do find them, you're probably not going to have a good time.
No, and they were trying to make the move because the Aegis was getting reclaimed right at that moment, so they were trying to catch them split up for a second there, but look at top wave. Like, this is a towel right here. They know that Quincy Crew is trying to make something here when those creeps are just pushing that far in. Quincy Crew waiting patiently on the high ground, though. Old 11, he's going to go for the brunt force. Just walking right in.
It wants to start things off straight away. They get in with the jump onto the Invoker. They're looking to burst through Ori. They're able to do so. That's Ori out of the fight. They get the grab onto Poyo. Straight away looking over towards the DOTA. Poyo pots the Stone Gaze in the Manta style. Quincy Crew, they'll start to kite it out to the side. Leslau keeping a lockdown onto DY with the Spirit Siphon. Another 3-man silence laid down by Leslau. Poyo starting to run low on the mana. He's got the damage to force Yawar back. Yawar pots the BKB, still can't quite get in there. Leslau gets blown up. Quinn jumps in over to PYW, but the Primal Split's still good to go. As the split's out, Quinn's held in place by the boulder. Triple kill for Poyoyo, as they just cannot kill or really threaten this Medusa. Even with the Aegis gone, they do their best to fight around it. They get a fantastic jump onto the Invoker, blowing up Ori, but it's not enough to turn it into anything more than just that. As Poyoyo, he seems very far beyond the point where he really is this hero that they just cannot fight anywhere close to.
No, they threw everything onto him too. After they killed the Invoker, they throw the Rupture, they try to collapse onto him with the Death Prophet, but then we see, the Scotty just hits onto Death Prophet, she can't run in, and a great dispel. PYW with the Primal Split dispels the defensive Yules off of Quinn. He lands right in front of Dusa and just gets completely wrecked. And we see DY, they totally lock it. We've mentioned it a lot of times. He's just healing, restoring this Medusa's mana every single one of these fights. It was a good approach from Quincy crew, but we're just seeing that the power of this Medusa is just too farmed.
Absolutely, and going for this Satanic next. I mean, if they couldn't kill him before that, killing him with the Satanic
Oh,
would be
boy.
so hard. Yeah, we see on the replay again. I mean, they do, they get the mana down low. They are starting to burn through Poyoyo's sustain, but it's just not enough. And by the time it gets close, they're just starting to lose heroes left, right, and center. Yawar, he can't get in there, even with the BKB, getting anywhere close to the Skadi do. So he knows if he's running in, he's not going to be getting back out.
Old Eleven's he's just a absolute tank. He just runs right through everybody. They ignored him at the start, but either way, the damage is done when he's able to just sit on top of the Wyvern, sit on top of the Bloodseeker, and have no cares. Just zoning him away from that Dusa. Vici, 18,000 gold lead. It's continuing to get harder and harder.
Let's see what Quinn goes for next. He's got a fair bit of money saved up. DY is going to head over. They're able to get the push together once more. I mean, Roshan is going to be up in a minute, so we could see Vici gaming. Continue to play a bit reserved, wait for that next Rosh.
Yep. I don't know what big items are the ticker, right? What's the next big thing for Quincy? It feels like it's like the MKB for Yawar, but he's ways away from that. And even then, I don't know if that's going to solve the damage issues. Quincy still hasn't queued up which item he's going for, but I just don't know which one it is. Like, sure, he can go for his own, like, Kaya, Sanj, something like that to give him a little more damage, but is that going to change the outcome of the fights? It doesn't feel like it right now.
Oh, unfortunate there for Leslau. Losing the courier with the plate mail on.
Ouch.
Quincy crew smoked up, looking to see if they can find a catch, maybe get a hero out on their own. But as we see Vici Gaming, they've just done a very good job of not being caught like this. And LOA tries to jump in, tries to set up on a Poyo. Quinn's coming in with a follow-up. They're committing everything onto the Deucer. They come with the BKB and the Exorcism. They're staying on top of Poyo. Yawar charging as well with the BKB. Can they bring down this Medusa? They can't. Poyo's just clean it up. 3 down. The curse will come out. It's not going to turn the tides of this fight, though, as MSS still falls. Quinn trying to run away. They've got the control from the Primal Split. They send him up in the air, ready to bring him down. He's got one more jump, but he can't even get it off. The cold snap immediately there from Ori. As it's a team wipe, they just clean up completely straight into Roshan. This Rosh will be theirs, as it's looking like there really is very little left in the tank from Vici, from Quincy Crew to throw at Vici Gaming. Once again, they just can't kill this Medusa. Poyoyo, he's just too damn farmed.
He is just too big, absolutely. If they were not as far behind as they are right now, they could have probably killed it. We saw multiple times now where they got Poyoyo so low, so close to taking him out, but gets healed up, gets reset, and they just get fully wiped there. Just lacking the damage. Look how low they got her, but is it really that low? And she just able to turn around and just get, I mean, it's these holy lockets too. It just keeps getting healed, these sticks. And now 20 seconds till the Void Spirit's back up, and they're just losing their whole base.
I mean, yeah, pretty much 30k lead here. Second wave being taken. Quincy Crew, they'll probably pull it together for one last fight here on the main stage. Let's see what they can do. LOA, he's headed in. He's been caught by the Hex. That's the Lion gone. Leslau just getting shredded here by the damage out front put from Poyo, and there it is. GG is called. Vici Gaming take game 3 with that. That series is theirs, 2-1 against Quincy Crew, as they'll be the ones moving on here. And my goodness, this Game 2 and Game 3 performance, there's no doubt about it. Vici Gaming absolutely playing with the thunder that you need to be able to carry you continue on potentially quite far in this tournament. If they could keep up these approaches for the second and third game, the draft in particular as well, some of these ideas from Vici Gaming that they're bringing into the mix, it's just working perfectly and completely outdid what Quincy Crew tried to play in this Game 2 and Game 3. Vici Gaming had them figured out.
They did. They did get smashed the first game, though. Quincy came with a really strong approach this time around, though. These last two games seems like the approach from Vici. This one, it was more of it looked like what it was going to be, like a patient game, maybe toward later stages, but that early game, it just got too out of hand. The fights that they were taking 4v5. Medusa's farming on her own. This Medusa Poyoyo got absolutely massive. They also went for the Midas on the Invoker, and they still were able to keep that big gold advantage. And yeah, poor Yawar in this game, not really able to find his footing. Again, 2, 5, and 8 on the Bloodseeker. Just a tough game for him overall, especially in that core-to-core matchup. 2 of the times, especially in that one near the Roche pit, pops his BKB, gets Sunstrike, gets killed right afterwards of it. Yeah, just a tough game overall for Quincy. The game plan from Vici worked out. In this position 4, 5, whatever you want to call it, Brewmaster from PYW, I feel like that was the X factor for me. His Spirit Vessel's on point. Same thing with his Primal Splits. Just made the team fights absolutely impossible for Quincy Crew.
I mean, yeah, PYW ending 10, 4, and 18 on the support Brew. Absolutely a big brain pick here for the side of Vici Gaming and some big brain plays from PYW, no doubt about it. But I mean, there we have it. And yeah, unfortunate for Quincy Crew. They made it nice and deep here at the tournament. Obviously, they would have wanted to go a little further. Definitely, as you said, from game 1, the potential is absolutely here with this squad. We know
100%.
we're going to continue to see big things from them in the future. But just on this date, Vici Gaming, they turned up with more fire and just had a better approach. And I think a very well strategized, attempt at dealing with how they know Quincy Crew wants to play Dota.
Agreed. And I think the panel is back in position.
Thank you, Fogged. Wonderful, wonderful job, as always. The Pillow doing exceptionally well, but a very solemn moment here for many at the arena and a lot of fans at home. A lot of big Quincy Crew lovers out there watching them in the DPC, and they will be making their exit. So overall, though, hell of a series. I mean, both teams fought pretty hard.
Overall, everyone that's biased towards Quincy Crew could be a little bit sad right now, but you should be happy for the quality of the games that we've witnessed and the majestic performance from the support duo of Vici Gaming. They definitely deserve to go through. PYW, Brewmaster, something that they've been picking at the beginning, the early beginnings of Season 2, but kind of strayed away from it, bam. And Witch Doctor, Crystal Maiden from the NA region, and here we go. We bring some flair from the CN as well.
Yeah, very creative drafts and very well-executed plays there, Effie.
I really love seeing what kind of picks come out in the final game of these best of threes, and we got treated to a Brewmaster. That was just... It worked out a lot better than I thought it would, honestly, and that Medusa just felt unkillable.
Yeah, I mean, the Void Spirit, too. Not a hero you see a lot of, and has to be extremely aggressive and make sure that mid is going their way, and just so many ways to shut down Void Spirit. I mean, him running into a Brewmaster, what do you do?
Yeah, but Quinn on Void Spirit, he's just one of those players that he doesn't care, right? Like, no matter how difficult of a matchup you have, he's going to make that hero work. In every single one of these highlights, he's a nuisance. He's the one that pokes, goes in, gets out, makes you waste spells, makes you waste TPs, makes you react to him, which makes it so much easier for the likes of Leslau and Yawar to do their own magic. It just wasn't enough this time around. I also didn't really feel that impressed by the Bloodseeker. You can see the point behind it. It is one of these tank breakers with the shard at the moment, but Medusa just felt like the ultimate carry of the game.
Absolutely.
She would get ruptured and she would just stand there and hit them all, and they would die.
I mean, that's what Medusas love doing anyway. They literally just love standing in the middle and just say, come at me, bros. And it was pretty tough. As you can see, pretty much all these fights, she is ruptured during the beginning of most of these